Put this under your shirt.
I should have just kept the other one on from stage.
Perfect. So let's start.
KeyBank's a regional bank that serves both the consumer and commercial markets across the United States. We know we have systems that are, let's just say, a few decades old in some cases, or at least a decade old, but we can't let that core technology, that older technology, slow us down. It can't stop our innovation. My goal is to help us think through the art of the possible, getting people to take on challenges, think differently through them, understand how technology can enable us within our kind of people, process, technology ecosystem to serve our clients in a better way. In 2019, I was asked to take on our robotics process automation team, RPA. I started looking at where RPA played kind of within our core systems and all the SaaS providers that we had, and where that could start to fill in blanks from straight through processing. But there were still gaps, air gaps in our end-to-end processing. So I started to look at what other technologies could fill those gaps. And that's when I started bringing in kind of the hyperautomation strategy together, because it's not just one thing that solves a problem, right? It's a culmination of multiple technologies as well as business process reengineering that start to create the foundation for hyperautomation. So we started finding tools, OutSystems for low code, another vendor for IDP, that allowed us to really bring that hyperautomation strategy to life. We knew we had to figure out how to evangelize and see where it really fell within our architecture. We started with a couple smaller low-code systems within HR, right? Very, very simple, just to kind of test it. Then we wanted to see the final test. Can low-code truly be presented to the client? Can workflows be efficient enough that we want to be at scale in front of the employee? One of the areas within Key that has been talked about but didn't have a project plan yet was unsecured loans and lines. So it was a perfect opportunity to, while we're not going straight to the client, we're going to the bankers, to our employees in the front line. I can say that we built the app within less than 9 months, and that was from standing up OutSystems to actually building the application and getting it into production in a set of pilot branches. 6 months roughly after it being installed has been a huge success. We have greater than a 20% reduction in overall cycle time. There's also less fallout on the back end. So when you talk about rework reductions, when you talk about accuracy or cleanliness of data flowing through the system, when we talk about the client experience of, I don't need to give you my address if I'm already a Key client, because we can pull that in and pre-populate it, right? So the experience itself was drastically different. The back office has embraced it because, again, less rework. There's less times where I have to call back to the branch because a piece of data was missing. You know, that's where I think low code in my mind really plays, the hyperautomation strategy really plays, because it can focus on the user experience. It can focus on the orchestration of the client journey and where the data needs to go. And it can do it in a very effective manner, whether they be newer core systems or older core systems. To low code, it doesn't matter. So it's an enabler to kind of start digitizing at speed, something that I think we haven't seen before with some of the other technologies. Am I going too long?
No.
It's been probably 2+ years since I've heard, I can't do that. I don't think that's possible. Now they all stop and we all challenge ourselves, figure out the path to yes. Then we'll see if it's reasonable or not, but never start with the path to no.